Yoink. Oh, okay. We are here, and it's amazing the difference that not drinking caffeine beforehand will do.
Why
Lot
did you
more.
do that?
Because I have to be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So,
Ew.
yeah.
Dude,
no,
almost
no,
the same.
no caffeine for me. It's fine. We'll
That's when I'm
survive.
going to bed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, heathen. All right.
Conform to your society.
I've never
Yeah.
seen Graham and the sun in the room at the same time.
That's not true. I have. It's very rare, but it has happened.
No, you
before.
haven't.
Was an illusion.
That wasn't my room, for one thing.
Okay, in a room. Whatever.
Basically, you can do
Even
with
a room?
backdrops these days.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, there is a thing. Okay, I was like, do we have announcements? I guess we have tomorrow. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We took last week off because of raisins, but this week we're good to
He's-
go, assuming no such natural calamity prevents anybody from showing up. We'll play it by ear. But yes, tomorrow Savannah by night. Come watch people put it all on red at the racetrack. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Put it on red. Ha. Very nice. Okay. That covers this week. Next week, obviously, Tuesday, same time, same place. Next Friday, the 20th, prepare for the return. And I totally forgot to do this today. Prepare for the return of Star Wars within our Knights of Silver Moon Discord.
Nice.
As we bring the Twin Company comes back with more continued adventures. Finally, this time it didn't take a whole year for us to come back around, just a few months, but that's okay. Had a lot of chaos over the summer, so didn't quite do what I wanted to, but it's fine. We're here now, and hopefully we can continue to do so over the course of the next few months. So we'll see how that goes. More details to follow on Tuesday and or before, depending on when I can get that shit done. Otherwise, I think that about covers it. So yeah, super excited. Lots of fun stuff coming up. And we are missing an Iskra tonight. Our heart is and minds are with her as she is doing the things that she does so well. And speaking of the good things. Speaking good things and doing good things. In Yonderville.
Is that next to Saunderville?
Saunderville, I think, is like 45 minutes south, and then
That's not too
37 degrees upwards. So,
Spin with your main
Two
finger
very
clockwise.
different units of
it's 45 parsecs.
That's pretty far.
But not in the direction you're expecting.
Correct. It's never. And that's the whole point. If you are expecting the direction, you'll never find it. You have to unexpect your direction. Anyway, I don't know.
Jack Sparrow's compass. That's the...
Yes.
So I'm getting the impression that Yonderville is basically like a speakeasy. The only reason why you know where it is because someone brought you there.
Yeah, I like this. This is good lore. Good lore. Good soup. Good soup. Good lore. All right.
Bad soup.
Bad soup. No, always good soup. I don't know what you're talking about. It has never been bad soup, and it's all in the
The
eye.
soup is literally people in this town.
But it was tasty.
And these
though.
are
It was,
good people.
it was good people. So yeah,
Good people make good soup.
Gotta care about your ingredients.
systematically true, or something.
Better
I don't know.
ingredients, better
Mm.
people.
Now, just remember, you have to
People
use
Jones.
free-range Spartans for your local stew.
Obtain locally.
Yeah.
No.
All right. No.
No hormones.
Free
I'm just
range.
Picturing Orcos, but played by Babish.
Yeah. All right. I think that covers it. So let's jump into tonight's episode of Age of Myth, Act 1. Here we go.
yet he was also somehow the smartest one in the party.
I'm gonna go find a
'Cause he
Dagon
had
and
max
punch
wisdom.
it.
All right.
Where can I find a Dagon?
We are back. Just
We
for
are
the
back.
record.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah, yeah, that was great. That's fine. Everything's fine. We'll do this. This one is fine. The year is 1005 after the fall of the First Kingdom in the city-state of Sparta. Our party of demigods, Orphics as they are called at the time, have followed a trail of darkness and devastation since they were first made aware of their differences from the people around them. Learning of the ancient First Kingdom and the heritage that they themselves might contain from it, they chase after an evil called the Plague. This plague is not from here, and somehow brought about the end of one of the first civilizations on this planet. As these mysteries have been unraveled bit by bit, they find themselves chasing after fragments of this ancient evil. One such fragment, going by the name of Nagush, the Hymn of Death. They had already defeated 2 previous fragments, and now, with the aid of their companions and some of the officials of the Spartan army, they have managed to corner this cult of Phobos, a group that is bent on denouncing the gods, as well as promising a revelation of sorts by their own deified leader, a being that goes by the name of Phobos. You guys had defeated several villainous monsters within this square in the human quarter of Sparta. And now, having sent part of the Spartan Legion after an escaped member, you had decided to play SWAT team and go through the house that was, well, a furrier's place. Not to be confused by furriers. It's a different thing. But a place, but only minorly, where various untold horrors had also occurred. A few bombs / traps had been set off, disarmed / disarmed. As in one of the final rooms, you find yourself having unlocked the door and seen here within the horrors that lay before you. In one corner, against the wall, stood a large cauldron of stew. A stew that had been given to you the day before. Well, given to a member of your party the day before as a gift. A stew that had been found to have the remains of humans or humanoid people made within it. Here on a table of thick wood lie the various remnants of some of these said people. The now dried blood having soaked into the wood and filling the room with an iron-like stench. In the corner, on the right-hand back corner against the wall, you had seen a woman bound and gagged as she had tried to scuttle away from you and hide deeper into the shadows. Laertes, however, had a spell upon him that allowed him to see these magical these binds were indeed magical illusions, and he had cast them aside, or Oretno had cast them aside.
I turned off the timer.
That's right. The left side of the room, a pit of a hole that slides down into darkness, its edges slickened with mud or ick of some variety or another as it descends into an abyssal who knows where. You find your party now spread in this now tighter, confined space now with all of these people within the room, as it is Cypress, Phoebe, Aretino, Laertes, a Jaegered Themisto, and 2 Spartan soldiers, Davos and Xanthus.
Oh shit! I don't have their character sheet. Who's
That's
gonna
okay.
run them tonight?
I can do that. It's no problem.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I forgot about them.
You should reach out to the Mister.
So does everybody. So does everybody
Yes,
else.
You gotta play these characters. We'll play you.
Oops, that's not how you spell that. Okay, that. Oh, I was trying to look up hoplite and I put hope light. That is not.
They bring hope to us.
Yeah. Especially when they give themselves to save your life here in a minute. Just kidding, I would never.
Yeah,
Yeah, they would never
kill
do
off
that.
the
It's
mist
okay.
of Spartan boys when she's not here.
We're in Sparta. We can just get some more.
Oh no!
Your
Yeah,
name
we
is
are
Davos
basically
now.
at the supply depot of all Spartans.
Yeah.
We can get them into 2-4 at this point.
This is where they make them.
Oh my god, you guys all
Organic.
Locally
Well,
sourced.
let's not go that far. I'm pretty sure there's HGH in the water in Sparta.
Okay. We are going to go ahead and start there as the mystical bindings and visage of this individual is erased. You see that she has some horns that grow out of her head and this like forked devilish looking tongue that slithers out as well. Is there any? What do you guys do when you see this? As she just kind of like reels back as she now realizes the visage is gone.
Sorry, can you describe her in full again? Because I remember part of it from last time. She had the horns. Did she have hooves?
No,
No hooves.
nope,
He
just
also did not trigger divine sense.
correct.
Can I do an inside check just to kind of see, like, maybe why she was pretending to be a prisoner? Like, if she's about to, like, or if she was doing
Sure.
it to, like, protect herself? Nope. That's a natural one. We're off to a great start tonight, ladies and gents.
Oh no!
Get it out of the way.
Yep.
Get it out. Get it out. I'll put this little camera on for now. Let's see. Why are you so blurry? Silly goose. Okay. Well. I don't think turning this on is gonna help any.
I wonder if the
No.
pattern's making it angry.
Yeah, right? It might be. Okay. Let us turn this on. So we have the 2 Spartan boys that were holding up the back as they had kind of been following in with the rest of you guys. You have flown in, walked in, whatever. Whatever you had
Swatted
done.
in.
Swatted in. So you had swatted yourselves in. All right. Yeah, looking at her, she just kind of, she does a little bit of a hiss and pulls herself up into the corner, but doesn't. It's just kind of like her eyes darting back and forth as she's looking at all of you.
What's your name?
There's a needing of calming down with the music. I need you to chillax. She doesn't respond. She just kind of like goes from hissing to like closing of her mouth and just like breathing quickly through her nostrils.
Weird question. This is gonna sound lewd, but it isn't. What is she wearing?
Her clothes are simple. They're bloodied, dirty, grimy. It looks like she's been here for a while.
Okay.
Cypress asks everyone, was the door that we just came through locked? From this side?
No.
I don't trust her.
She
The one
gives
person here who's not bound.
she gives Cypress a very dirty look.
If you want to refute me, then explain yourself.
Who are you?
You first.
Oh, you first. I asked.
We're
We're
armed.
not with the people who own this building. They're gone. Most of them permanently.
Why? Why are they gone?
They fought. We fought back.
She just like looks down at the ground, looks over at the table, just starts like looking around her.
But that is impossible. How could you have defeated them? Who are you?
Are you here willingly or unwillingly?
What difference does it make?
We're the large one.
Oh,
Especially since you find yourself in the room where such sacrilege has taken place.
sacred.
Pretending to be bound. Pretending to be helpless.
For one so young, you are rather dim-witted.
I've been told that.
That was not the reaction I was expecting. She just kind of looks at you like.
Here.
She just kind of looks at you like.
What else you got?
Why did you fight them? Why did you fight them? Why? They weren't going to offer freedom.
Freedom from what?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Just. It's the first time she actually like pulls her hand away from, like, still holding them together.
Aaron, is my detect magic still up?
No, we had said it was gonna be running out here soon. I believe it would
Okay.
have already faded.
I
Okay.
don't know if the Misto has ever done this in game, but she has this ability that I would like her to use. And I'm gonna let Iskra later on, when it gets used again, describe what it looks like, since she's very, very good at descriptions for the Misto. But can our new friend make a wisdom saving throw, please? She's going to try to use her channel divinity, read thoughts.
She has, in fact, done this before.
Okay, she has. I just couldn't remember.
When she was, it was an accident. It wasn't something she had consciously done. She had used it once. When she was in here before the first time, with
Okay.
talking with Orgos.
I think being back in the same place, she accidentally used it, and being, I know because it's Chris told me, the Misso is very distressed from all that has happened, and being back in this room specifically, or being in this building specifically, that I think in like studying this woman, that part of her mind is going to kick in and reach out towards this woman's mind.
Okay.
Not letting me mark off things on her character sheet. but she has used this.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a 20. Unnatural, but a 20.
Snap. It doesn't work.
Themisto reaches out with her mind in this tension. There's something familiar about the presence of it, as if she had sensed it once before, briefly, when she had kind of done this. There was like almost like a little pulse where she had felt various minds within this room and then had focused instead on what had been Nagoosh at the time. She feels the same similar presence with her mind, and her snakes kind of all stare. And they, not that they necessarily stand on end, so to speak, but they kind of shift out to the sides as they all like try and peer at this individual. And she is met with a solid wall. Whomever this person is, she has either fortified her mind or has gone through an immense amount of trauma to where it is like static but solid.
If I stand, will you harm me?
No.
Swear it.
If all you do is stand on your feet, we will not harm you.
She snarls a little at you, and you see that she's got these really sharp-looking teeth. She grasps onto the side of the fireplace hearth and starts to try and cautiously pull herself up. And you can see that she pulls herself up by her arms, and her legs don't seem to really be moving much until finally they like move beneath her, and she stands like a newborn foal, just very wobbly and weak-kneed as she's like grasping onto the walls on either side of like this side and the hearth to try and steady herself as she's lifting up.
Do you have a name?
She kind of ignores you and looks over at the hole in the ground. Doesn't even seem to be like registering this as a table of chopped up bodies. Just looking at you, looking kind of just down at the hole, and then slowly looks back over at you.
Ilsoa.
Can you spell that, Aaron?
Yes.
Ilsoa. Ilsoa.
It is so. Did something come out of or go into that hole?
Yes.
What?
All of them. They have all gone. And they have all come out. Some do not.
Is this still her voice or did it change when she said that?
Still her voice. It's like keeps cracking and finding itself.
Okay.
Why are you here?
Same reason you. No. Answers. Wish answers. Have you found what you were looking for, boy? Spilling blood. Causing
There's a lot
fire.
of blood in this room.
Not mine.
No, I figured, looking at the table of bodies. The question is, did you spill it, or are you responsible for it?
Why would Why would I do such things?
You say as if I should know who you are, yet you refuse to tell me that.
I told you who I am. You do not listen. Am I free to go?
No.
Why keep me? I have caused you no harm.
I have not harmed you yet, yet you seem to be very mistrustful of me.
You are threatening me with violence. Why would I trust you?
Because you've told us nothing. And we've reason to believe that anyone who would be in this house who is not a victim, which you seemed to be pretending to be, is a predator.
Larities, what were you gonna say?
I'm gonna let that play out.
Okay. She just glares at you.
You speak in circles. I have told you who I am. You have seen that I have tried to hide and shelter myself away from you. What more do you need? I simply want to go about my way.
I think my companions and I would be a little bit more comfortable letting you go on your way if we were to know specifically what answers you came here seeking. As you correctly observed, we also came here seeking answers with many questions. Did you find your answers?
She starts to look perturbed, I guess. Scared a little. There's a flash of several emotions that go across her face. And we all are welcome to make insight checks if this. She just like
Yes.
her face just kind of like changes over and over.
That's a good one. We're starting on.
I love my new dice. First roll was a nat 20.
I also got a nat 20.
I got an 18 and Themisto got a 14.
It was
I got
blessed by
7.
TSR.
All right.
Sorry, no, it's still a THACO rule, so you have to roll low.
Ah, shit.
All right. No, what did you roll?
Natural 20 for a total of 25.
25. Cypress, what was yours?
Natural 20 for a roll of 19.
Okay. Larities,
7.
7. Cypress. I mean, not Cypress. Phoebe.
18. Yeah, 18.
Okay. All right. Now I will send you a message.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, there you are. I was like, provided I can find you.
I told you my name. What more could you want from me?
Literally anything else.
That's not how you spell that. There you go. That's how you spell that. Okay. Okay. This is not the song that I was looking for either. There's your message. She looks back and forth.
No.
For the rest of you, there's a lot of for Cypress and Phoebe, there's a lot of emotions here. You see nervousness, you see fear. Her eyes go to all of you, but they also just dart all around. She's definitely giving some crazy vibes.
I found things. Not what I expected. Made promises that I don't know if I can keep.
She looks down over at the hole in the ground.
What sort of promises? To who? Do you remember?
She takes a step towards you, and it's like absent-mindedly. She just kind of like, her hands fall limply to the side, and she still stays looking at that hole, and she takes another step towards you, and she just slowly looks up at you.
No. Promises of sacrifice. I have given everything that I could.
Her breathing starts to get labored again and intensive. It's like, you remember the beasts in I Am Legend, where they're like it's almost like hyperventilated breathing, as they're just like, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, it's kind of like just a notch below that. It's just like this intensive breathing, to where it's like super short little breaths that don't seem to make any sense for the nerves that she has going through her body right now. Laertes, what we're gonna say?
I'm gonna run at that because my insight was fantastically non-existent. I was more paying attention to this bizarre architectural Gozerian basement that they've installed, and I'm kind of hovering my hand over it to kind of get a sense of, is air, how do I word this? Is it positive pressure or negative pressure? Does it feel like hand being sucked towards it, or is air rising from it? Or is it neutral?
Neutral.
Interesting. Is there a little rock I can just do the distance test with?
Not
'Cause
really.
If anybody can do that counting.
Yeah, not really a rock or anything. There's like
Probably a finger.
stuff. Yeah, there's stuff on the floor.
There's a crazy lady.
Yeah, there's stuff on the
Terminal
floor.
velocity is pretty static.
You see that there's, we'll just say that there is like a small wooden box. It's like no bigger than like a box you would put like a ring or something in. It's just like a teeny tiny little wooden box
Okay.
that's kind of close enough to the edge.
I don't want to really move. I'm just going to lift the box into the air on its own accord, move it over the crevasse, and just, as it makes the goofy sound all the way down.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to keep track of how far I think this thing is dropping.
You just let it drop.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to internalize in my head terminal velocity. I'm basically just trying to do a physics count of how far this thing is going to drop. If it drops. Like, will I ever even hear... Nice. When it hits impact. If. Or is there going to be more of a gross squelch sound at the bottom? Because that'll tell us something too.
You don't hear it make any sound. It never makes a clatter. For a brief second, make a perception check.
Okay.
Because this will determine a lot of what you hear.
Now, because I'm applying my specialty of physics to this, does this help me at all?
Not particularly. As you're not visualizing it, you're having to wait for sound.
It's not great. It's an 8.
Okay. You feel like you heard an odd thudding, but it's not like it hit something hard. It was like it hit something soft, but there was no like clatter to it. It just like you heard almost like a and then nothing. And it didn't take long. It was
Okay,
literally
so-
shortly after you dropped it.
Hmm. I forget out of character. Can Phoebe cast light on a thing, like at will, or
Yeah.
is that a spell?
It's a cantrip.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and find something else to throw down there because that's what I should have done in the first place.
She moves over to the table that's there in the center and places
Mhm.
both hands on it and looks down, now almost like looking at it for the first time. And she's like,
Mhm.
What went
are-
into and came out of that hole?
Who are these people? Who are they?
That is why we've come here. The people in this shop have caused much harm to the people of Sparta, and we're trying to understand if we have identified everybody, and that's why we are so initially suspicious of you.
Leandra. She was Leandra. And this one.
she places a hand on a meaty thigh.
This was Zana.
She puts another hand on a bicep arm that lacks a body.
Nelios. This was Nelios.
They come here with you.
No. No, they did not. They came here after. Seeking answers. Asking questions. Too many questions, and they did not like it.
Her hand reaches for another body and another, and she just like starts muttering names, and like chunks of meat just starts muttering names. Her
Aaron,
hand-
can you remind me how to pronounce her name?
Ilsoa.
Ilsoa. How did you survive?
By making promises. I made so many promises.
What did you promise?
She looks like crestfallen. You can see her head like hang. There's like bits of hair that fall around her, and her shoulders droop.
If you made the promises to them, they are no more. They cannot hold you accountable for those promises.
These words are binding. It is the way of things.
And she, with one fluid motion, pulls a bloodied sword from beneath the bodies and swings it at Cypress and Phoebe. In one quick whoosh, brings it around. And I need you guys to
Roll initiative.
roll initiative, please.
Well, we tried to be nice.
All of us are rolling
One was
initiative.
the second roll I made.
Yes. Everybody that's
I'm really
here.
trash tonight.
Aretino,
Me 3.
23?
Yeah.
Or me 3? I heard me 3 at first, and I was like, wait.
I heard
Me
big
3.
three.
Me roll 3. No, 23.
23. All right. Cypress.
Me 3. It was actually a 3.
It was actually a 3. I see that. You came up with a -1. Beautiful.
Well, you see, my wonderful new die rolled a nat 20 for its first roll and then a nat 1 for its second. So this is
Beautiful.
And
going
all
to be a nice
things
varied
balance.
die.
That's
Yeah.
a narrative dice right there.
That is. Themisto.
Themisto and I both got 9, but with very different dice rolls.
Very nice.
So you're using like a D4 or
No, I have a +5
What
and she
die
has
were
a
you rolling?
+1.
Mm.
I had to message Iskra. I said, Iskra, your initiative bonus is so low.
Could be worse.
Didn't I have?
Yeah.
I thought I had pulled out a mini for
My
her.
initiative is only a plus because of wibbly wobbly nonsense. Not
I gotta buy
because
a
he has
lot
good
of
decks.
ticket.
If only we had trusted this crazy woman.
I just rolled an 18, a 17,
Okay.
an 18, a 19, and a 17 on this die in that order.
What order are we in,
Beautiful.
Aaron?
Is it like a coin, but where one side is 17?
And Aaron, you said you're
it's got
rolling and
all the
controlling
numbers.
the Spartan boys?
Yes.
Cool.
They rolled a 19.
Okay, can you let me know what order we're in so I can keep up with who I'm controlling when?
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Thanks.
First, there will be the 2 great sword attacks.
Oh, nice.
That she is.
So this is not just like a little sword she pulled out from the
She
bodies.
pulled
This is
out
like
literally a long sword that had been hidden beneath the bodies, and as she brings it across, oh, this is such heroic music for something so awful. We'll do
She's
this one.
free.
You could have
Yeah.
said she had a meat claver, but no.
No, she did not. It was a nice big bloody sword, and it just as it goes across, there's like this blood spray that just goes across the room in this like
This is the
sharp
second
line.
game I've gotten blood sprayed in.
Yay! Cypress, your is 21,
That hits.
and then Phoebe, yours is a 22.
Yep.
Okay. That is going to be 10 points of slashing damage.
Wow.
For both of us?
No, this is for Cypress. 10 points of slashing damage and 5 points of fire damage. As it as the
Oh.
blade slices across you, you see that what you thought was blood is like superheated blood. Like it starts to sizzle through the air. It's almost like an instantaneous, by her grabbing it, the blade heated so much that the blood that was soaking on it now has sizzled and burned as it goes whoosh, and there's a little trail of smoke that comes across that strike.
Was that 5 fire from me or for
That was
adding on to
just
Cypress's?
Cypress's.
Okay.
Your damage is going to be 9 points of slashing and 3 points of fire. Whoosh whoosh. It's
Take
just
the
like-
brunt of it.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see, since you two are right there. The first. So that was the surprise round. Oretno, you are the top of the pack once again.
This time I think I don't know if this is the best use of my turn, but I think we still need some answers, and I'm gonna try and cast Detect Thoughts again, and I am gonna push
Yeah.
deeper. That's gonna be a
Wisdom saving throw.
so more than surface thoughts. So yeah, that'll be a Wisdom saving throw. It is only a 15 based on that last one. It's probably not gonna work, but
As a 16. She almost.
have
You
anything for
almost.
that? do I have anything for that?
Silvery barbs.
I mean, I do. It's another spell slot though, and I'm running low.
I'm just proud you have any at all.
Yeah. We have
let's try-
spent.
No, that's only
We went shopping today.
That's only on attack rolls. Yeah, so that's it's like, well, I guess we're not getting any more answers here. And I will just step to this. I'm not sure which one is me on there.
You were right here. You were behind Themisto.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just step to the side around those I guess towards the hole to make a path for the Spartans.
So up against the wall over here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. That ends your turn. The Spartan boys are up next. They immediately go into a defensive posture. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, shoot. Davos, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm just going to go over here to 25, and he's going to make his 3. Oh, Jesus. I need to start doing these in advance. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 hits. The other 2 do not. Xanthus is going to come over here and try and post up right next to Themisto with his shield. And then that takes care of that. That takes care of that. Only 1 hit, so that is 1d6 plus 3. Cool. Okay, 6 points of damage. Beautiful. And 6 points of damage. All right, cool. All right, that ends their turn. Xanthus gonna hold his movement. It is now Ilsoa's turn. And she is, as she brings that sword like she had gripped with both her hands around, she reaches a clawed hand out towards the boy. She's gonna reach a clawed hand out towards Cypress, and you see that there around her hand the torn and warped, torn and with worn is the word I was looking for. Torn and worn cloth that had been around her arm begins to like smoke and burn as a whip of fire lashes out towards you. I need you, and it like wraps around your body. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, if you will.
Got it.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This like arc of fire goes around your midsection.
26.
26. Very nice.
That's oddly enough my highest saving throw.
Okay. This looks like it doesn't... Okay, so it looks like this doesn't do anything if you succeed. Because I'm not seeing an option for on a success, so...
I just glare at her as the thing wraps around me.
As it wraps around, there is a glint of pink and white light that comes off of your Spartan armor, and the leash of fire that had wrapped around from her arm to you just like becomes nothing. It almost looks like fiery chain, and then it just all the little chain links just break apart and shatter into nothing. And she breaks across her hand like that, and instead goes in to stab you with her other hand. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Does hit.
That is going to be a 10 slashing damage.
Ow.
And 2 points fire damage.
No.
Okay. It is now Laertes' turn, with Phoebe up next.
Am I within melee range or no?
Yes.
Okay. That changes what I have to do then. Gonna have to make a save. It's gonna be a wisdom save.
Okay. Wisdom save. Let's go to you. That is going to be 18.
Right. Okay. Damn. Should have done this in the first place. I am going to try and step back.
There is a, I mean, there is a, they're like, you were within melee range, but there is
Mhm.
technically also a table, like a chopping table that
Oh.
is between you.
I would have done
So-
something different then, but never mind.
Yeah. So there, I mean, it's kind of like sitting in that space. It's not like a dinner table wide. It's
Okay.
just a small table with these.
Because I would have
bodies
done
piled.
a targeted spell rather than a save spell if I knew that. But all right, never mind. I'm still gonna try and back away then.
Back up. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, just the 5 feet or go up against the wall.
I kind of want to go up against the wall.
Heard.
While within 10 feet of me, you do still have +2 to all saves.
Hmm.
No longer within 10 feet though.
No?
Yeah, I'm good to be out of the whirlwind over there.
Okay.
Oh, am I against the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here.
I
Oh
thought it was
no,
Phoebe.
you were right here. You were correct. So yeah, you were
Okay,
10,
sweet.
10 feet. I too thought you were Phoebe from this angle.
We look very similar.
Yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
siblings.
All right. All right. Anything else you're wanting to do?
Nope, that's it.
Phoebe, it is your turn.
I am going to hit her a couple of times.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to see how many focus points now I've spent because I have an updated character sheet. Okay, I've spent 4. Good to know. Okay, first roll is on the floor. That's real bad. That is a 12.
12 misses.
All right, second attack is a natural 1.
Ooh.
I'm gonna flurry of blows,
Heard.
I'm going to.
and I'm not gonna use that d20 anymore.
I'm going to
'cause
use
that
my
was a
reaction. here.
Okay.
10. Mhm.
When one of my allies rolls a natural 1, I can use a reaction to get a bardic inspiration back.
Very nice.
Okay. Let me try to roll 2 more times with a different d20. Okay, there we go. That's a 24.
24 hits.
And that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage
10 points.
and a 16
16 just hits.
is 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. 13 points. Dope. As you strike her, how are you striking her?
With my fists.
Okay. Beautiful. As you are doing this, with each strike into where are you generally like punching?
Probably like chest.
Oh,
arms,
even better.
Shoulders.
You expect with the way her tunic is, you expect to hit like flesh and bone. You find that she does have a like hardened leather something that is like wrapped around her body. And it's just like you just punch it, and it's not that it hurts you or anything, but it's just one of those. Oh, you realize that
Or, like,
she's actually surprising because she's dressed to look very ordinary woman, and she actually is wearing like this armor beneath her, or
Gotcha.
beneath her dress. But poof, poof, and then like you feel that the impact with your fist. You're like, oh, okay, that's fun. All right, that ends your turn.
Mm-hmm. Is it the Misto?
Yes, it is the Misto with Cypress on deck.
Okay, you might have to help me fully understand how this works, but Themisto is incredibly frustrated and knows how spent everyone is and seeing her friends get hurt, and she just yells out, "Enough!" And she's going to try to use Gaze of the Gorgon, which is a Constitution saving throw for her.
Do you have to? Oh yeah, it is the case. Yes.
Mhm.
Con save. That is going to be a 16.
Okay, she saves. Does that mean nothing happens? Or does she just restrained? Because it says on a success, the creature is restrained. But does that mean a successful saving throw, she's still restrained, or?
Does it say anything about a failure?
Yeah, but it's on a failure of 5 or greater, they're paralyzed. And then on a success. So I don't know if that means
I think that
fails
means
but less than 5.
right. I think that
Okay,
means
that's
on
where I got
a
confused on it.
yeah. No, I believe that is on a success of like the successful save. They are just restrained.
So would she be restrained then?
Sure, that's what it's written as. I don't think that's what it's
Okay,
meant, but I think
Yeah.
that's we're just gonna go with it because that's what's in there.
Okay. She will get to make some saving throws.
Yeah, later.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that was.
Dope.
I'm sure if Iskra was here, she could explain
Is-
better.
That's okay. All right. Awesome. So then that brings us up to Cypress. It is your turn now.
All right. Cypress is going to pull out the little metal sphere that Laertes gave him.
Okay.
And speaking the secret command word, he's going to throw the iron bands of binding at her.
Ooh. What is this? Deck save?
It is it's an attack roll, but since she's already restrained, I
Oh.
should have advantage.
You do have advantage.
And so I make a range attack with a bonus equal to my dex plus my proficiency, so that'll be +5. Ah, baby. That is a 24.
That hits.
I
Very
chuck that at her, and as it encases around her, Cypress says, "If only we had trusted you, then you could have proven to be a traitorous murderer later."
Okay.
And he will just stand over her.
Does
And
it
I don't
say
think I have a bonus
what
action.
kind of
It is a DC strength save, and she will get 1
It's-
per day. If
What is it, like a 20 or,
or strength
something?
check.
DC strength check? It has to beat a 20 though,
A
right?
creature, including the one restrained, can use an action to make a DC 12 strength check to break the iron bands. On a success, it's destroyed.
12.
On a fail, it's considered not breakable for 24 hours by that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I just rolled
Oh,
really
mine was-
badly
Oh.
the first time.
It says 20 for me.
It's a 20
What did
for
I
me
say?
as well. You
You
said
said
12.
12.
Oh, 12. Yeah, sorry.
I
It's
was like,
definitely 20.
whoa.
No, it's definitely 20. I thought that's what I said.
I was like, maybe I just rolled really low the last time. I know I did, but I didn't know I rolled that badly. Okay. What is the condition? She's considered restrained, or
Yep, just restrained.
okay.
So, disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Right.
Attack rolls have advantage. Creature can't. The creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, and her speed is 0, and can't benefit from any bonuses to speed. So technically, she can still attack. But
Gotcha. Okay. Beautiful. We are now going to be at the top of the round. Is that all you're doing, right?
yeah, I don't have any bonus action I want to use. Thank you.
The metal bands fly out and like strikes her and immediately unwind themselves and grasp in this horrifying metallic hug of doom as it just like all these pieces like bind around her center, leaving her arms like down below, and you see she's still gripping the sword in one hand, and like her hands are like going like this on the other side. Alright, no, it is your turn.
She still appears to be hostile.
She's very hostile. Now she's
Cool.
caged animal hostile.
That changes what I was going to do a little bit. Good thinking, Cypress, and I'll use those words of encouragement to give you bardic inspiration. So take a D8 there, And then with my loot still conveniently detuned from being roasted by the fire last time, I'll strike another sour note on it and cast Mind Sliver
Ooh.
on her. If you can make an intelligence saving throw, please, as the worst note emanates forth from my instrument.
Is it a brown note?
Oh, we'll see how badly she fails.
Why not? That is good. A 9.
That fails.
That is indeed a brown note.
So she takes 10 points of psychic damage and has to subtract a d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the start of my next turn.
Nice.
Okay. What do we do? Okay, it's now the boys' turn. One stays on this side. The other one's gonna try and push past you, Phoebe, to get on the other side. You allow it. Xanthus is gonna try and push past you, to get on either side as they kind of grab her arms on each side. And they look over at Themisto and the rest of you. They are gonna hold attacks unless to see what she does next, I guess, because they have their spears. They wouldn't really have spears in a small room like this because those suckers are huge. So we'll just say they have their swords pointed at her.
It's cool Spartan foldable spheres, so they can shorten it by folding.
Yeah.
Just imagine they carry them like those little fold up pool cues.
Okay.
If she's making a saving throw, make sure she subtracts the d4.
But the strength check is not a save. Just in
That's right.
case for breaking out.
Change this to this one. No, all of these are I just need minor
drama music?
Minor drama music. I don't need intense crazy. Okay.
Retino, can you play some minor drama music?
Oh yeah, sure, I got you covered.
They're strumming a banjo. His battle uke.
Yeah. She is going to try and rest free from the boy's grip, and from her clawed hand, you see the fire emerge again. That being the inciting incident, both boys are gonna unleash an attack of stabbing on her, but she's going to do her fire leash. Her infernal leash is going to go towards Phoebe this time. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please, as it wraps around your body instead.
+2 from being close to me.
Hey. 13.
13.
Can't tell if that was sad for you or sad for me.
The fire wraps up around your leg. Wraps up around leg midsection. There is a brief moment where that fire looks like it's starting to burn into your flesh and dress, but it doesn't feel the heat that you were expecting. As there is another fire that burns brighter within you. And you feel compelled to move forward and help her. There's something that makes you want to do this. There's something that's telling you need to be close, that you need to stay put. And then you shake that feeling off. 13 was exactly the number you needed. So I counted as a almost failure. So that you get to kind of see a little bit of what it was doing. You felt a darkness in your soul that kind of tugged and pulled, a darkness that you didn't realize was there. And there's a moment of pity that you're feeling. And then all of it like washes away in this torrent of fire. And you can't tell if that was necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, that pity was burned so fast, but it was. And she looks like you can see, if there was a way for a vein in her forehead to pop, it would have, as both of those, well, we'll just say, yes, hold on, let me just do this real quick. Add these two, 8, and then the boys get, okay, so that's 15 more, 16 more damage from them. Both their blades kind of stick into her, and there's a little bit of like blood that starts spattering on the floor, and you can hear her mutter to herself,
Now there is blood. Now there is blood.
and she just begins to start to like shake.
Don't like that.
It is the end of her turn. It is now the Laertes' turn.
I thought they went before me, or they already did.
They
right?
they were holding their move to see if she was going to
Yeah, ready.
attack or yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is she still technically upright, or
She's in there. Like they both have like a hand on shoulder, and Davos is in the process of like tearing the sword from her hand. But every time he touches it, you can hear the hiss of like of flesh to a hot iron skillet is like that instant like sizzle from his hand touches it. Is it flaming hot?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I want to do something real weird because she's technically restrained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it double restrained because their hands are on her?
No,
Not
there is
double
no
around?
there is no such thing.
It's double restraint because of Gorgon's gaze.
So it's triple restraint. There's no double, but there is triple.
Yeah.
Mm. Fun. Okay. I think this is the first time I get to properly use this in the whole campaign. I'm gonna go up, back into quasi. Am I able to reach across and actually touch?
It would be difficult. She had the range because of sword. I would say that your arm would be like, unless they leaned her forward, because now she's kind of back up against the hearth. But you can definitely go up and
I-
around.
Okay.
I mean, moving through allies is not impossible. It's moving through enemies. It's not possible.
Okay. Yeah. If I could, I guess it's Cypress that's in front of me.
Yeah.
Could I kind of just
Get up here.
Yeah. Can I do the old man at the family dinner? Like, I'm just going to reach right around over here. And I'm going to try and turn this sword. I know I'm going to take damage just for trying to touch it. And that's fine. I accept that. That's life. Just trying to reach over, feel that sizzle. But I want to render every atom in it briefly inert and affix it into place as I cast a movable object on it.
Okay. On touching it, that is 4 points of fire damage.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
I did roll max on that one. It's only a D4.
Ooh, fire
for
indeed
touching.
hot.
Yeah. 4 points of fire damage. Is there a save for this or no? It's not, right? Because you're just touching the.
I'm touching the object, but it kind of depends on how you want to run this.
Okay.
Let me just look at this again really quick. Otherwise, a creature can use an action to make... Oh, no, that's to move. It seems to be if I just go and touch an object.
Okay. It just becomes. It's like a movable
Yeah.
rod kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But I can just apply... I like the idea that she's starting to flail, and then it just goes...
Yeah, because it's just down at her side right now. She's like, if she was to try and swing it, it's kind of like the binds are up her arm and around her. So it's just kind of like she can try and do this, but she just had it down and was kind of like pulling it away from Davos, but now it's just stationary. You can see it that her face changes, like she's realizing that it's not moving like she normally likes it to. Okay, that end your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and back up, but I'm going to slump my face against the wall.
Okay.
The wall's nice and cool. I'm not
Phoebe-
gonna take into consideration that it's covered in probably blood, but
Yeah. Phoebe.
I'm going to try to hit her a couple of times. These
Okay.
are at advantage because she's restrained.
Correct.
Okay.
could I be saying one thing as I'm trying to like be half in and out here? Just
Yeah.
maybe we could just carry her out.
Okay.
And that's it, because I'm not. He's probably not even really sure where he is right now. He's running on fumes.
Right.
The fumes of his melted hand.
14
Pretty
for the
much.
first one.
Misses. Or, I mean, it impacts, but it doesn't do anything because we'll just play it that way.
Yeah.
It's not like she can move out of the way.
27 for the next.
That one hits.
Ooh.
You wind up hitting metal band the first time.
13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Beautiful.
And I have no idea how many she has, but if this last hit, well, it's not going to knock her out because that's a 1. I am rolling so bad tonight.
You hit the metal bands again.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Wait, was that last one was with advantage? Because all your attacks against her are going to have advantage because
Yeah,
she's
let me
restrained.
see. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's way different. 22.
That hits.
If this somehow knocks her out, I would like it to be non-lethal, please.
Hurt.
Because that is another 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Beautiful. It is not enough to knock her out, but she is, as they say, very beat up right now, and it's looking like she coughs out a little bit of blood. She's hurt.
Misto has taken to heart what you said, Laertes.
Mm-hmm.
What if we take her to the kings? She is restrained. This would be another case against what has happened here.
Is that what you want to try?
Oregano.
I'm in favor of that.
I wouldn't mind hitting her once more. But I'm for that idea.
Okay. Wait, what?
DM, remind me. Did any other Spartans stay around in the area? Because I know we sent...
There was some outside the house that were just kind of doing crowd control, but none that were like immediately close by.
Do we need to send her with the Spartans like we did Orcos? Laertes. I know the thing on the wall. Do we need to explore more here? This girl, what, has been coming in and out of that hole.
Davos.
He's out of it, so he's just like, yep.
Yeah, sure. Davos and Xanthus are going to they're just
Pick her
look
up
at
and just,
everybody.
like-
They'll look at everybody and they're like, we could just leave her here. She's not going to go anywhere.
That is true.
She cannot move. I wouldn't mind investigating this potential portal in the floor, but I don't know if us doing it right now is optimal. We're all tired.
We can take her. Davos is saying this. We can take her outside, but I do not wish to leave eyes with a lot of you in this situation.
What if you put her in the next room? You can keep eyes on us, and that way she's not close enough to harm any of us with that fire whip of hers.
We could also
You-
knock her out.
Like, you wouldn't hurt us anymore, would you? As he looks down at her, and she just does the equivalent of just going, and just like hisses at him.
Can I
She's-
knock her-
She's definitely gone.
just knock her over?
She's definitely going nonverbal.
Can I, like, just push her over?
She's being held by the two guys right now.
Okay.
I mean, you
Can
can.
I push her over?
Why?
Do I need the reason? Or more, do I need to explain myself? Whatever, it's fine.
They don't seem to say anything, but they've definitely taken this. They've made a note of this. You can see that they both.
They will remember this.
They both kind of go like. And
Before
With the-
you start judging me, you two. For one thing, he like shows the huge slashes on him, and also she insulted me, insulted all of us, and is clearly hiding shit, even if she's crazy. So I understand overkill, but emotions are flaring right now.
we've made fun of you.
I remember.
Phoebe will put a hand on your shoulder, Cypress. Cypress, I understand, but right now we've got a different mission.
Just make sure I think she's still dangerous. Even through those bindings, she's able to use that whip.
You can see her. She like does a couple of like hand motions to like she's trying, and it doesn't work. This music just is not it.
She's feigned weakness before. But I'll acquiesce. I should cool off anyway. I'm very tired.
Go for it. Go. Do it. You know you wish to kill me. You know you wish for this all to end. And it will. It will.
I don't have my scarf anymore. Does anyone have a sock they could just shove in there?
They haven't been invented yet. That's the problem. We'll walk around with sandals.
I have traveler's clothes.
You can easily tear off. There are body parts that are on, and there's bloody,
Ooh, ugh.
and there are bloody. I just mean like there
Here,
are.
this was Leandra.
Yeah.
Which one
there-
did you say this was? Have some Xana.
Yeah, there are like
some
there is
Xanax? What?
there is bloodied clothes in the corner, and there is some bloodied clothes that are on the bodies that are chopped up on the table right now.
Cypress, if you want revenge, shove a cloth in there and make it be quiet.
Feels not right to use anything that's in this room. I can suffer more of her tongue for now.
Well, I do not wish to, and I will grab some clothes somewhere and stuff it in there.
She looks up in your eyes with like a fiery malice is a not probably a strong enough word, but there's definitely a borderline hatred that she glares up at you with, and shoots the same venomous look to everybody.
You are only experiencing the consequences of your actions. It did not have to be this way.
Xanthus and Davos begin to drag her off into the next room, into the room that you had left. You can hear the clunk of the metal as it hits stone as they like lay her over.
As she's being dragged by, Cypress just like leans over close to her face. In case you have any sentience left in that head of yours, I'm not even sure I pity you.
There's a flicker of flame in her eyes. Laertes, what were we gonna say?
In this flop, sweat, fugue state over here, I'm going to be going to ritualistically cast Detect Magic again.
Okay. Oh, we'll take you 10 more minutes.
Yep.
Just
And
stand
Phoebe
here.
will be there for you to lean on, like she was as we walked into the room.
Cypress will go over to Laertes as he's doing this and will spend the last of his lay on hands 5 points to touch your burned hand. Thank
Aw.
you.
You watch as Cypress, as he holds your hand, and you can see the coursing energy that comes from his own body, and it seems to like mend and patch itself through the burned, scald mark on your hand, healing the flesh. For a moment, it kind of reminds you of a strange version of plague,
But an inverse.
but an inverse.
I was
It's
thinking
just
about
it was just
both that rejuvenation or reknitting, and also thinking about his own dilemma at
Mhm.
the literal core of his being. And there's a moment where he actually is distracted by his thoughts on how that works and what it is, what it does. And he has to start the ritual all over again.
Sorry. Cypress will go lean against a wall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were left in the room with this glaring pit that seems to beckon and call to you. Xanthus and Davos, I put both their names together. God damn it. Davos and Xanthus stand by the door, one of them looking into the other room, keeping an eye on her. They mutter a couple of things together for Davos turns to you all. One of us will stay behind and keep an eye on her before we, I'm assuming, continue to see what is down there.
I would recommend we have a heavier guard than just you. With all due respect, Davos. Purely because if we can trust anything she says, beings come and go from that hole. And who knows how many or what might come out if one of us is alone.
But if we are all going down there, they will have to get past us first.
The Mister will
I just
say.
don't know if we are going to rest elsewhere.
The Mister will say, I think what we decide to do will be based on what Laertes discovers.
Laertes, you're within the couple of moments of silence. As you are studying about the room, there is two of the Spartan guards that come from outside. And this will not disturb you, but you hear them come in. And they will speak with Davos and Xanthus, and you guys can overhear them talking about that they have, for the moment, cleared away the perimeter of the couple of houses around. That the people within these houses have been, for the moment, asked to leave until they are clear to this house. Davos will turn to Themisto. Do you wish for them to take the forked-tongued one to the fortress as well?
She'll look at the group for confirmation.
I would probably rather have most of our enemies in the same place.
Yes, I think that would be wise to take her there.
Davos nods.
But warn them of what she can do if she is released.
Of course. By the look of it, I don't think she will be going very far. She looks rather beaten. Go ahead and take her. The soldiers pick her up and drag her out. And at this point, she's stopped struggling. She's just allowing all of this to happen. She gets dragged away, and for the brief moment, Cypress, the two of you lock eyes, and she goes out of sight from the doorway. But you see, she stares at you. I need you to make a not charisma, insight check for me.
Insight check. But I'm bad at that.
Got
Oh
a
shoot, a dirty one. I
Oh.
will not waste my D8 on that.
She just mean mugging. She is mean mugging. Listen, sometimes I just don't. The words do not work. Okay, so
Could I
Um,
have said something to the
sure.
guards before they, or would that have interrupted?
no. Nah, we'll say that you finish it as
Okay.
you finish saying whatever you want to say.
There is a body outside in a Spartan cloak. Can you take it to the castle, please?
Alrighty. They will do that. Or at least they nod in understand.
Mhm.
Can you remind me which body that was?
The body removed.
Yeah. The Nagoosh tumor.
Right.
The new goosh.
Oh no, not the new goose. Not this again. Okay. You look about the room, Laertes. The
Mhm.
sword seems to not really give off any sort of magical aura, although there is a diminishing heat to it that you assume is some effect of hers.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the room looks ordinary.
Okay.
You see a shelf on the wall that has various cooking components, herbs, spices, onions, leeks, bag of potatoes that, or other tubers that sit by the hearth, things that you would use for cooking a decently hearty meal. If it weren't for the fact that they were used for such nefarious ingredients beyond that.
While this is still active, I want to try and wander around the building a little bit, not just this room, because if I'm not seeing anything here, I want to make the most use of this vision while I can.
Okay.
Because I
How
know
long does it
there's-
last? 10 minutes,
It
right?
lasts 10 minutes, and it doesn't quite go through stone
Right.
very well. So I just want to try and just look in a room and just maximize the time I have, just so I go, okay, I'll catalog that little blip for later kind of
Mhm.
thing. If I see something, I don't want to spend too much time
Yeah,
on it. I just want to just
it's
catalog
not-
where all the pings are, if there are any,
there aren't.
other than anything we're wearing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. When I go to that space on the wall, which was, I'm going to call the evil egg timer until I have a better
Mm-hmm.
understanding. Is there anything kind of residual coming off of it?
Mm-mm.
It's
It
completely
had burned.
inert.
It had burned away when you dispelled it.
Mhm. On the
So
one hand,
there's no.
good.
Yeah. Yay! Aw. But yay!
Yeah, because I don't know what that was, but I knew the second we got a vision of it, it was going to have to be turned
It-
off.
It just had to go
Um,
away. Yeah.
Yeah, that was before we even got into the room, right? So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna mill around doing that for a few minutes until either A, the timer runs out on it, or anybody comes and interrupts me.
What are you guys doing?
So I can.
Cypress is mostly spent. He's trying to be vigilant in case any weird movement or visual makes him think that danger's here, but otherwise he's mostly wandering, leaning against a wall, not really searching for anything.
Having seen out of the corner for eye, Laertes magically pick up something and drop it down the hall. Laertes, what if you try that again? This time with a little more illumination.
Sorry,
And-
this was said to him, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll pick up something. Anything weird in my bag? Yeah, I'll just grab something from like the tinder box that I apparently have. And
We could just
cast-
use the sword that's floating in midair, and I
Yeah.
can just move that.
I mean,
that
there
would
is a
be-
hearth that is cooking. It still has a fire in it, and it is a slow simmer.
Oh, I just want to like drop a log. You mean is what you're suggesting? Okay. I was so hoping someone would pick up on that
Nope.
joke, but no one
I
did.
tried I tried so hard. I was
I wasn't gonna touch
giggling
it.
on the inside.
Nothing
yeah.
taco. Forget it.
Do you want me to? And he's just going to lift one of the burning coals out of the hearth and just Kobe.
No, I hate that. Ugh. I hear that all the time at work. People trying to throw trash in the trash can.
Is that why you're always in the trash?
Mm.
Do we see anything?
There is
Laertes dying. But...
Yeah. Slowly, but not fast enough. There is the glowing embers from this piece of burning wood that falls into the black hole that is in the side of the room. It's only, like I said, it's about like 4 or 5 feet across. It's not like the widest, but it is easy enough for you to slide down. And I say slide because as you drop the log into it, you see that this burrowed hole in the ground at the edges of this house indeed goes down at a slant. And it is just like a slickened, moist, wet, and yet somehow oddly smooth earth. And the closer you stand to it, the more it smells of like damp earth. Like whenever it is like the rain has freshly watered the ground, and that brings out that really earthy, wet smell. But this doesn't smell like rainwater and earth. It just smells like mud.
Does the dampness seem to be made from blood rather than water?
It's hard to say, as the dirt is black and near black and red.
Can I like, is it like that part of the dirt down, or if I like bent down and like grabbed a little bit, could I
You could-
smell and
you-
see if it smells any like?
You could.
Okay. I want to see if this is like. I know she said things go into and come out of it, but like, is this also like a body dump for unwanted pieces? And
You take a little bit of the earth from the side, kind of scraping it into your hand, little clumps of it, and moving it back and forth. It's hard to tell. It looks so much like mud, like the richest earth. And then you smell it, and there's the tinges of iron to it. It's not fully wet with blood, but you know that it is have blood that has run down it before.
instead of dropping it down, I'll take that little piece of dirt and I'll toss it into the fire so that blood can be burned away.
Make a make an Arcana check as you're doing this.
I'm not too great at that. Nope, not great at that at all. I'm rolling shit tonight. That's a 6.
Okay.
Oh,
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I've been doing stuff, so I'll step back.
do we think that we can take the sword with us? I don't know if any of us can use it, but it probably has a better use than just adorning space.
Aaron, I got the impression it was just a sword, right?
Mhm.
Nothing interesting. If any
She
power
was
running
what
through
was
it, it was
making
just
it
her.
special.
Yeah. It's he's going to just briefly cancel that pause in time and space on it, and it pings into the ground, and he lets it
Clatters.
reactivate. It's just a sword. There's nothing miraculous about it.
Never mind.
It was a good thought. I had it too.
Oretno, make an Arcana check for me.
That's a 12 for you.
12. As they're having a discussion, though the training that you have received for your abilities is not intensive in its arcane nature, there are certain feelings when things are off that you have learned. It is part of the gift and curse. Something you look over to the hole again, and it feels like something is watching you from within it. But you don't see eyes, and you don't see anything besides dirt. But there feels like there is something else down there.
I cannot shake the feeling that there is something down there that is aware of us. Keep glancing down into the darkness.
You could cover up the hole for now. I don't know where we intend to rest or how soon, but just a thought.
Cypress Laertes, do either of you still have the ability to sense, to see if there is anything unnatural down there?
I do once more, but I didn't when I was checking to see if she was divine. I don't know if it would be new. I could certainly look.
Could
But I also can't see through too much matter. And with the wall being at a slant, I'm not, or the hole being at a slant, I'm not sure.
we do not know. Because it's at an angle, we weren't able to figure out exactly how far it goes, right, Aaron?
No, it seems like it goes about like 10 feet down, but the 10 feet is like a slow slant. So that by the time it reaches the bottom, it almost looks like a slide.
If we could get some more illumination down at the bottom, I could cast my sight down there once more. It would take a lot out of me, but at this point, I think it's worth it.
How about two of us, or more, go down and see what's at least at the bottom of the slide? We don't
think
have
that's
to
wise. How about I take a torch and toss it to the bottom first?
I like that.
I can throw the torch a little further if you want to.
I mean, to be clear, above table,
Mhm.
you will not be able to see any more than you already have by throwing a torch down
Okay.
there because it slants away. It's like slides out of sight. So it doesn't necessarily stop. Go ahead.
No, I think it's if we put like a bigger fire down there, then Oretano can cast sight down into that space
Okay.
and see further.
Yeah.
I think that's
Gotcha,
what's the goal.
Yeah. I'm gonna-
The other thought that I have with that is through all the gravitation shit I can do, I can basically be moving it through the space. I won't be able to see anything, but Aretino can at least be seeing better because there's a light source down there as he scries.
Hey, maybe you'll shove your fire into something that screams if it catches on fire.
I like this
Hobos.
idea.
Other goosh.
No, not the
New
goosh.
Goosh.
No, no new goosh.
Old goosh.
Down in the gooch hole.
Who has the highest
There may be goosh down here.
What is the highest what?
passive perception?
Not
Ooh.
me.
Themisto has 19. It's probably Themisto.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
Themisto.
Won't be
Oh
me.
yeah.
The Misto notices that there at the base of the table is coiled rope that is already tied to one end.
I say we do the torch thing first. We don't need to explore this hole yet. I think we should. But as long as we can see a little bit in, that'll give us an idea of what immediately the terrain is like down there and if there's something literally about to spring out of it.
Themisto will look at you. Cypress, I cannot hear you if something bad happens. I'm spent.
Oh, I was still with the torch idea.
I know, I just mean after.
I'm going to say that you've got like 10 minutes left at this 15 minutes left at this point for a full short rest. As long as you guys have been like standing around doing nothing. So it's up to you.
10 minutes of our short rest or 10 minutes before we can't short rest?
No, like you guys
In
have
10
been
minutes, it
standing.
will have been a short rest.
Yeah, you've been standing here for almost like an hour because the 10 minutes for Laertes to cast, he had it up for 10 minutes. That's already 20. And then just like the looking around the room, dealing with the other Spartans, taking the people around. You're like I said, 15 more minutes, and you've basically got a short rest.
I'm down for that because I have this really cool new monk ability on a short rest.
Let's do that.
I could go for that.
And if something springs out while we are all present, then we deal with that.
You sit.
Short rest.
Yeah. So we'll say for the like 20 minutes that you have left of this to make it a short rest total. Themisto sits and prays, or seems to be praying as she has her eyes closed and is in concentration. Davos and Xanthus go over to the corner where Xanthus seems to be speaking his mind in hushed tones. And then you have your short rest.
Over the course of that last 20 minutes, I'll take the opportunity to retune my lute, and there's something just calming and regular about that sound. Kind of helps forget about what's going on in here, and if anybody uses any hit dice, you can get an extra d6 worth of hit points back.
Are you going to roll that d6? Or actually, I'm at max, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Do you need a roll for Themisto? No, Themisto has not taken any damage. Clerics don't get anything back on a short rest, right?
I don't remember. If you just hit the short rest button, it will reset.
It's not letting me do things on her character
Oh,
sheet.
okay.
I can on view only.
Spending all my dice plus the d6, I'm at full.
I don't think so.
Don't think so either. I think it's warlocks and monks that really benefit from it.
Maybe divine. What's it called?
Channel divinity.
Channel divinity. Maybe.
Let's see.
For me, that it's a short rest.
Okay, so then that might.
Nope, it's a long rest. I think
Long
she's
rest?
still.
Okay.
I think she's still completely tapped. So nobody get hurt.
Above the table, I get back a third level spell slot for my short rest.
Nice.
I thought my cool new thing was on a short rest, but it's when I roll initiative once per long rest.
I got my health and my channel divinity back.
I
Otherwise,
can.
I'm the same.
But I also get all my key points back. Or
I get
focus
that thing that
points.
makes bad guys monologue when they die back on a short rest.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So what are you guys doing?
Let's still do the torch first.
Yes.
I
They
want to
feel
try.
much more confidence in going down.
Go ahead.
Phoebe, are you able to make it even brighter?
I can try. It's not been working as well with the darkness, but
Let's see.
I was just going to light the torch from the fire.
Light it first, or rather use your ability first, then light it, see if we can maximize it a bit.
All right. I'll take a torch. I will cast light on it and then set it on fire also.
And if she lets me, I am going to guide it down the slip and slide as far as it can go before just invisibly mage hand just lobbing it as far as it can go.
Okay. Beautiful.
So that there's some light even further down the tunnel that the Retino can try and hone in on.
You see the torch disappear out of the curved J that it is this thing. And it goes God damn you. Why are you like this, Hunter? It goes down a little ways into the beyond line of sight. But you can still see the glow lighting up the bottom of this area now from the light spell and this fire. All right.
Then trying my best to estimate where the torch is based on the light it's shedding, I'm going to cast clairvoyance on that location.
Beautiful.
Nice.
You close your eyes and cast your inner eyes out into the void of space. It is a strange sensation being able to do this spell in particular, as it always feels, well, I mean, it is out of body, but it feels even more so now for some reason. There is this strange Resident Evil style viewpoint of like the edges of this room. As you see that after the end of the end of this slide, the torch teeters precariously at the edges of another pit. But this one it seems to have stopped on two pegs that are into the ground where a rope ladder is hung down over the edge. A small cavern has been excavated here, no more than maybe like 15, 20 feet at most across, as is just the end of this space. And looks like it goes down, and you can see just narrowly another passage. Whether it's a natural occurring crevasse or a burrowed one, it's hard to tell. But the walls all have the same sort of black mud smoothness. It's like water erosion, kind of smooth, but it's almost not to the point of where it's like, oh no, black tar plague style, but this is black mud that has been smoothed out by like lots of water for some reason.
Aaron, do you know what pluff mud is?
It sounds really familiar, but I'd have to Google it probably.
it's a specific kind of mud, and that's exactly what I'm imagining right now, and I don't like it.
What's it called again?
Cloth mud.
This sounds like the sort of thing you would find in Sparta. Everything I've ever heard about it, though.
Ooh, yeah, I could see it kind of like that if it was on the walls.
Yeah. It goes down for some distance, and then there's a another cavern inside, smooth. It's gonna switch it over to hearing temporarily. Is there any motion, breathing, anything like that?
Ooh. Switching over to from sight, you instead focus on
What about taste?
you instead focus on the audio that might be down there. And there is this wind or air of just open space. And somewhere in the distance, some water that's like trickling or pouring down the sides.
There sounds like there's a large open space further down there. I don't think, even with the rest that we've had, I don't necessarily feel up to going spelunking right now. But I also don't hear or see anything moving.
And I think we should try to temporarily block it off.
There's running water for certain. I suspect another entrance or exit somewhere. But still, blocking it off may not be the worst idea.
We can ask for help to guard this entrance and to properly dispose of the remains.
I think that's a good idea. I think falling back with the intent of coming back more prepared to explore this is a good course of action. We can go check in on the kings in the meantime.
All right.
Is there any large furniture that looks like you could just...
Just the table.
I think we need more than that, Cypress. I think it needs to be guarded.
Oh, certainly. But I wasn't sure if we could at least dissuade the smaller crawling things that might come out. But the guard is probably just as effective.
Aaron, is this tunnel the same size as the big, beefy plague boys that we fought outside?
That's a very good
With
question.
some squeezing. It would be very difficult for them to fit through here, but they might if they squeezed enough, held their breath, and didn't eat that day.
Just the other thing we should consider is where else, even in this square, are there such tunnels? Because those creatures came from somewhere.
So
Were
I think
they magically summoned in the fight, or did they come from somewhere?
They
It
burst.
looked like they came. Yeah.
Yeah, they burst from the roofs of the houses across the street.
I doubt they were just sitting in there waiting.
Well, I don't know. That doesn't make me think that they were conjured. It's an odd place for them to appear from if they could have come from anywhere. They probably weren't hiding out in the attics, but they might have burst from the floor. Like this hole.
Well, we should report that to the kings if it hasn't already been said by their other soldiers.
Agreed.
I thankfully have allies here and are not alone.
I think we go to the kings then.
Well, they can still stand.
You do not have to stand alone.
As you guys start to file out of the room, Davos and Xanthus remain behind for a minute, and they follow you. You get outside of the house, and there are a few soldiers. Two of them are coming out from the house across the street. The soldier comes over to you guys, looks over at Themisto, speaks to her. Bethia to be, we have searched the houses that had the damage from the monsters. I don't know what to make of what we saw. If you would please come with me. You guys follow, I'm assuming, into the house across the street. The dust and debris from the partially collapsed ceiling kind of casts everything, casts that dustiness over everything. But there, partially buried under a timber, is a rather desiccated looking corpse. The soldiers move over and begin to lift the timber over and away. The corpse does look dried out. Something that would almost on the levels of dehydration, it's rather dry. But the startling thing is the cut that goes from neck down to torso. Something similar.
Reminding us of something, yeah.
Yes, reminding you of a similar sacrificial sort of look that the victims or sacrifices that you have heard being made for the cult of Phobos.
Remind me, that was in our very first fight, right?
Correct.
And the psycho lady was talking about sacrifices earlier.
Themisto says we have, in her way, much to speak to the kings about. And as you guys make your way back to the fortress, that's where we will go on break for now. Woo!
Woo woo.
Yeah. All right. Crazy lady captured. Orcos captured. Whole
Nagoosh. Negated.
Hey. That one's okay. That one I will let slide.
Okay, yeah. First fight. Drags dagger down the woman's body. Abyssal hand reaches out from inside her body. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. All
Nothing
right.
bad's going to happen.
I think this is all connected.
That answers that question.
I'm not saying aliens,
But
All right, guys.
but George Tsoukalos.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're gonna grab some water real quick. Bye. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. Okay. Comfy. Let's change this. As you are walking back, you have Davos and Xanthus at your rear. You have 2 soldiers that are walking in front of your party as you walk.
And some are
Heading-
left to guard the creepy tunnel.
If you ask them to, yeah, we'll have.
And then we would have asked for help to help start disposing of the body pieces as well.
Okay. I think there was only 4 guards left in that area, so
And that didn't have to be like a right away thing, but hey, this is something that needs to happen.
okay. You now finding that it is, we'll say it's like midday. The sun is at its highest. And still the skies are overcast. Even with no clouds in the sky, it's that strange thing of like it. You can see that there are a couple of clouds here and there, but the blue of the sky is just dulled, and the golden orb of the sun is just dimmed so much. So like it doesn't cast a like black and white on everything. It just makes it, or all the colors are a lot more muted.
There is something else at work here.
You make your way through the city streets packed with individuals. Now, more as the day has gotten to its peak, you see that there are, just like as when you had been in Kaipantha, there are the people that have come in from the countrysides to try and find shelter here in the city. Those who are trying to seek a sense of normalcy or answers. You see several of the temples, whether they are small shrines or even one of the larger ones, as you are walking by, are filled with people supplicating and praying, offering what sacrifices they can to try and get some sort of answer as to what or why the sun seems to have dimmed.
We passed the Temple of Apollo on the walk up.
No. The major temples are on the other side. They are closer to the Hobgoblin Quarter. You pass. Hold on. I'm trying to remember my notes.
If you can't find it, it's fine. I was just gonna say a thing if we had seen Apollo.
I want to say that I had. Oh, that's. Because I was like, it's the thing that I had sent. Because I was like, I had a map with notes on it and everything.
Oh, right.
Did I? Oh, this must have been.
It's the same one you sent me. It's in our DMs.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, but I was like, I saw was the map. And not. Oh, I think it's in your actual file. Yeah. Okay. I was like, I know that I had written it somewhere. Okay, just give me 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds, sorry. How dare, how dare. Discuss amongst yourselves. Ah! Knocks everything over.
I imagine if he had found his map that way.
Right. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Underneath all this coffee I just spilled.
Dude, I did that the other day. It made me very upset. I had to dry my
Ugh.
papers out on the table over there.
Oh,
No.
You will
The real
pass.
flag.
Okay. Wait. So I may have been wrong. Okay, so to get to where you need to go, because you are traveling southeast through the city, and you have to go around the center of this. It's like a really tall, sharp hill that's here in the middle of Sparta that everything is built around. That's where the fortress palace is. That's where you had walked up and then back down to get to where you were. In this particular section, there is the crossroads of Sparta, and there are temples to Artemis, Poseidon, Athena, Zeus, Hera, Aphrodite, and Apollo.
I won't
So
try
there
to stop
are-
now, but I'll make a note for later.
It is actually just after you pass the large theater that is cut into the side of this hill. Not a theater, I should say. It is a, well, no, I guess it is a theater. It's
Like an amphitheater?
Thank you. It's a large amphitheater. I was like, it's not like it says theater. It is just that space where everybody congregates when they're doing things and saying stuff. Of note, Sparta also has its own hippodrome. So Sparta has a little bit of everything. It's got the chariot races, it's got this thing, and they're all relatively close to this center of the city. But yes, there are those temples there, and they all seem pretty filled with supplicants. You get up to the fortress. You can see that there is a large amount of Spartans that are present currently. They look to be talking with some of their commanding officers and then going about into the city in different directions, taking different roads as they travel in groups of 12 or more, like small battalions, as it were. You now, Oretno and Laertes, this would be the first time that you've come to the palace, walking up this like winding path to the top of the hill. It is one of the few places in Sparta that has what seems like walls, but then it also like it's not walls in the sense of like fortifications. It's almost like the fortress itself is kind of built as part of the wall, so it's like it's a tall building that's just all connected to make the fortress outside, and then there's buildings within, or structures within. As where am I? Okay. As you are getting to the gate, you see that General Peleos meets you as you guys are approaching. Switch this.
How did your side of the expedition go?
Was a prisoner
Eventful.
not yet brought here?
Well, yes, but beyond that, what did you find?
I look over to Aretino, who actually saw.
We found perhaps a large cavern underneath the city. We're not able to tell quite how large it is, but it seemed too large to explore before we can rest properly.
Large cavern beneath the city?
I'm not able to tell if it's all or partially excavated or some natural portion, but there was a tunnel in the floor of the rear room of that building. among some rather distressing carnage that led down and into a large open space.
See.
There are also sacrifices found in the homes that those creatures came out of. We've seen similar sacrifices before.
You have?
Once before.
Bethia to be, the kings have requested your presence when they go to speak with the prisoner. Before doing so, King Menandros wishes to have a private audience with you.
Aaron, can you remind me which king it is?
The Human King. He kind of steps in closer.
I have a feeling he wishes to divine something from the circumstances we find ourselves in. Do you accept?
Yes.
He nods.
I myself have a few questions I wish to ask some of you in the meantime. Cypress. I have to say, the armor on you looks rather dashing. Perhaps you would one day consider training amongst the Spartans.
Cypress will bow. I am honored by that offer, sir. I'm afraid it is unlikely, but who knows what the future holds?
Well, we shall let you keep it for the time being. Just in case it becomes necessary again. No sense in taking off and putting it back on. But if you
Thank you,
would
sir.
please follow me.
And he leads you into the fortress itself. Once you get inside the main palace building, you see the human general, Philogos, comes over, asks if indeed Themisto is willing to go and speak with the king. Themisto turns to Phoebe, holds your hands close, and then whispers something into your ear that I will let her say later.
Aaron's like, I'm only willing to be this cute on camera.
Also,
False.
also, to the rest of you, she turns to Davos. Will you accompany me to the door? And to the rest of you, she goes, it will be but a moment. And she's like, her brain is like lost in thought a little bit. Like she's trying to steel herself up for whatever. She's basically going into business mode, right? And Davos goes with, leaving you with Xanthus. The general goes and leads you to almost like a dining hall room. It's a large open space. It's got a large table in it. It looks like it can be used either for food or for military strategies. Let me see here. Which do I want to use? Do this. I have
already reported to the king. We still search for the girl that left. We have not been able to find any sign of her. That being said, our agent that had followed her, we found. Unfortunately, he has passed on to Hades. We found his corpse in one of the alleys. It's not too far south from the palace. His eyes were removed. Do you know if this is something that the cult does?
The eyes, yes.
Why?
Depends. We're not entirely sure, but there is the adage of eyes are the window to the soul.
Curious.
I don't know if that's the reason. It's just a guess.
Of course. Well, either way, there are various battalions that have been informed to keep a lookout for this person. They are being stationed around all the major ins and outs of the city, though that doesn't necessarily mean that she is unable to escape. If she is aware of what has happened to the rest of her people, it is unlikely that she will remain here. Do you know any more about this cult, where they may go, where they operate from, or anything of the like?
We were told they were gathering here. And then they themselves told us they wanted to go to Thebes next.
Thebes. Why Thebes? No offense.
We're still trying to decipher the actual designs.
Understood.
Unfortunately, a great deal of what we're doing is chasing. Going to Thebes is the first time I think we're able to anticipate movement. It's likely we're going to go there next.
The road.
Something still has its claws in Svarta. Otherwise, the sun would not still be like that.
This is true.
I thought maybe defeating the creature would end it, but
It is hard to say. Or perhaps there in this cavern that you have found, perhaps there is more than meets the eye. I can send some men to go down and look. At least to begin searching.
If I may recommend, keep them posted outside rather than venturing in. I think you'll lose more men.
Spartans are not afraid to die.
No. But needless death serves no one.
I will consult with the others. But in the meantime, you all look rather weary. I will have some of these servants bring you food and wine, water, whatever it is that you require before we continue on in searching what is causing this darkness.
Thank you.
If I may make one request,
Sure.
there was a body that was supposed to be brought in, wrapped in one of your cloaks. I'd
Yes.
like to pay my respects.
Sure. The rest of you, do you wish to accompany or will you stay here and rest?
Nanites, would you like us to go with you?
If you'd like.
Then
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. We go to the catacombs then.
Taking you outside into the hallway and through another door into a stairwell that leads down. He grabs a torch off the wall and leads you into the darkness below the palace itself. You get to an empty room with a couple of stone slabs, things that would be used to prepare bodies for burial. You see on one of these tables the skeletal remains of the creature that you had pulled from the beast that was Nagoosh. The general leaves you to pay your respects and then walks out the door, or out of the doorway and back a little bit, leaving a couple of lanterns lit within this space. Xanthus stays by the doorway, but on the outside. It sits on the table, the cloak laid over it.
I have to see. And if no one objects, he's going to slowly pull back the cloak.
You pull back the cloak, and there's the skeletal remains that you had pulled free.
Mm.
The skull, a half malformed version of a few different creatures. It looks partially human, but some of the teeth look sharper than human. It's almost like you're looking at a half melted skull. Like it's part human and part something else that looks like it's just like malformed.
This amalgamation of parts.
Mhm. One humanoid arm, clutched fingers already laced into rib cage, with another that is just kind of like laying across, but the fingers are long, like that of a bat, or the bats have like the long fingers that have membrane between, and so it's just kind of like the fingers go down and across over like the midsection. Even the rib cage itself looks like it has more ribs than normal. Like it goes down almost in a snake-like form and just covers a good portion of the spine before it stops a few vertebrae from where the pelvis is.
Aaron,
Mhm.
what is considered the typical funeral practice? Is it just the coin in the lips or over the eyes?
I think it's generally the coin over the eyes.
Okay. He's never been a very religious person, not prone to rites and rituals to observe any kind of practice, but you do see him take out 2 appropriate coins to put over the eyes and going to try to arrange the hands in a more respectable fashion to, after all this time, however long they were trapped like that, try and give them one last in vain attempt at dignity in the end.
There's a sudden smell of mint and spice. A glimmer of green and purple from the other side of this darkened chamber, where another doorway had led to another room. Walking from the shadows, Hecate comes forward, followed by a bearded young man. This young man wears this brown and gold like tunic. He carries a scepter in his hand that he kind of like, as he walks past behind her, he then kind of like crosses his arms and puts the scepter kind of almost behind his arm, not like he's necessarily hiding it, he's just kind of like stepping around. Hecate looks at the 4 of you. I'm very impressed by you all. Well done, Retano. And you, young Orphix. Another fallen. Her words slow and slur as she like walks up to the skeleton. What is this?
Laertes has not looked up from it, by the way.
Yeah. She comes to the table. What is this?
A failed attempt to pull someone out of Beldura.
You did what?
You heard him correctly.
There you see the other young man, those behind her, kind of like widen his stance, and he puts his arms out to each side, holding the scepter down. And there's the crackle of energy that comes from him, but you don't see anything outright, but you can feel that there is like a tensioning. Hecate raises a hand and just like, wait. I must not have seen this. What did you do?
And he's going to launch into a bit of a TED talk at Hecate, where he was linking his conversations with the children of Asclepius, how they keyed him into looking inward at his own atomic structure, seeing himself in that way. He'll walk them through how he somehow arcane engineered that Belduran sense. He'll then go on to explain how when he was with, again, the children of Asclepius, helping that young man, how he perceived down to this infinitesimal level what the plague is doing at such a zoomed in scale. And as he gets to the tail end, I just honed in on everything that it was and subtracted, hoping there'd be something left.
I am at a loss for words. In the entire history of our people, I don't think this has ever been attempted. In fact, I'm almost certain that it hasn't. She goes over to the body and just like looks down at this thing, really studying it before she looks up at you again. Do you know how reckless that was? Do not misunderstand. Your intentions were good. And I can only blame myself for not preparing you more for everything that this plague does. You saw a glimpse of how it turns things. It does not cover, it does not absorb. It melts things down, disassembling everything that it is and consuming it. And whatever that thing was, becomes part of its entirety. Father Zeus, forgive me. There was once a young man that I knew before migrating here. Brilliant Capitanios. He commanded a vessel of one of our finest in our fleet. A brave, selfless, beautiful soul. And he fought with everything he had against this plague that was killing our empire. And when I heard that he was finally taken, I mourned for him for days. And I knew that I would never see this man again. And on the day of the migration, as our capital burned and we ran for our lives, in those final moments, a beast of this plague cornered me. And it used its ability to look into my mind, and do you know what it saw? Before my very eyes, and before my breath could escape my lungs, I saw this man that I knew standing before me. Every part of him perfectly replicated, standing before me. The timbre of his voice, the warmth of his eyes. He knew a name that he called me that nobody else knew. But I knew that this was not him. and I shot the man that I loved. Because it used something that I was afraid of. I was afraid of having to face him again in this form, and it knew that perhaps it could cause me to hesitate. And I almost did. Never before had we had the opportunity to do something like you have done. For we have seen a side of this plague that I pray you never have to. You have an unbound imagination, and that is something that the Fold desperately needs. We are tainted by our past experiences, and no one, not even Zeus himself, would have hesitated to obliterate the thing that stood before you. And I don't know if I am angry or hopeful that this could be something that we can use in the future. But by everything that is holy, please do not put yourself in the harm's way to attempt something like this. In the moment that my eyes were not on you, you have done the unthinkable. But in that same moment, we could have lost you as well. What I'm trying to say... Oh no! As your face gets torn apart into two pieces. There we go. Shift. What I'm trying to say, as she comes around the corner and puts both hands on your shoulders. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
He's actually going to do probably the unexpected thing again today. And he's going to pull her into it for a hug. That he expects that she might need, or doesn't understand that maybe she needs in that moment, because that's his read of it. Whether or not that's accurate is immaterial. And he's going to say very quietly, but loud enough that everyone hears. You wanted us to face a test early on of what we would do when faced with certain defeat. I choose to do one miraculously stupid thing before I go.
You have already done like 5.
It's been a slow day.
God damn it. I'm sorry, I did not mean to get caught up. I hear that there is a dark priest that was captured.
There was indeed.
As well as a mad woman who had joined the cult.
They all have to be a little mad, I feel.
But you have brought someone else with you today.
Yes, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Orphix. Hermes, Orphix. It's okay, Cypress. You just can't sit still, I get it.
I have changed internets.
He is here acting as a representative of Zeus. We have spoken, I should say, Ares has spoken to him about you and what you are doing here in Sparta, and he has come to make a report. Hermes bows. Just so you are aware, I am not going to keep this form for long. I intend to be present during the interrogation of the prisoner, but he takes the scepter, like waves it over himself as his clothing kind of becomes alive and shifts and changes and moves and folds in over itself to look like Spartan armor, matching that of Cyprus. You know what they say, all you humans look alike, so perhaps I can blend in a little bit and see what is going to be said. As Lady Hecate has said, Laertes of Sagan, it was indeed a very foolish thing that you have done, but the nobility within it I can appreciate. I will make sure that I will pass on this news to Hades. I'm sure he will find it most interesting.
What is to be done with the body?
He shrugs. It is to be interred. They don't know what it is. We are not going to tell them. A casualty of darkness.
Perhaps. Go ahead.
But this creature is not going to be the first, nor will it be the last, I fear. There is a lot more that is happening in Sparta than meets the eye. Another reason why I am here.
I mean to discover what is keeping the sun at bay.
Indeed. I have done some scouting around Sparta, but it seems centralized over this countryside. A range of a few leagues. Multiple stadia, as your Themista would say.
Debunk device. Nobody uses it anymore.
Whatever it is that is causing this, it still lurks here.
Something through the fragment here. More than just some outspoken priest of darkness.
There was a woman that seemed to radiate with the same amount of power as Nagush.
Another fragment.
Minea, I believe the name was.
There's a moment where both Hermes and Hecate share a look.
Does that name mean something to you?
It is an old word. We used it to mean someone who was crazy, lost. Strange that this fragment would take that name for itself. But if it's what I think it is, it's not going to be a good sign. We have much to...
It's unclear if they're still in the city, if they were heading towards Thebes.
Thebes? Why Thebes?
They had said that was their next destination. Or at least an end point.
You see Hermes swallow nervously. See. Well,
Do you know why they might target Thebes?
his face changes again, and this time it becomes more unreadable. It is a nation of primordials. Beings that are intimately connected to the makeup of this universe. If you were to target a country of powerful individuals, this would be one of them. Not everyone there carries Orphic blood, but the migration changed these people into a more primal version of themselves. And I'm sure they have their secrets. But once I am done here, I will make haste to Thebes, and I will try and see if I sense anything of this cult. If there's been any word, I can get there much faster than you can. He looks down at his feet, and you see that these boots that he wears while strapped like sandals also seem to carry within them embellishments of wings.
Thank you.
Sure. Now I believe I have to go infiltrate a human king's chamber. So I will see you soon. And he leaves. Hecate remains with the four of you for a moment. She looks over at Phoebe. There is a difference to you. You feel different?
Do I?
I don't know, do you?
I don't know. And Phoebe will hold out her hand and let it glow.
She takes a step towards you and kind of takes your hand, well, your arm, she grasps it down here, kind of lifts you up and kind of spins you a little bit. There is more. You are finding within you the strength that is buried. It is usually by touch, at least for now, that we can... the easiest way to determine a person's Orphic ability. And the last we touched, it was not as strong as you are now. A word of advice. Be mindful of the fire you draw from. It can be intoxicating. We have seen it happen before. Much the way she looks over at Laertes, the way those who experiment too wildly find themselves lost forever. Our powers are vast. That's why we try to temper and measure them. Be cautious, all of you. I will. She takes her hand up, and as she does so, she changes her attire. Her clothes also move and shift, and they become that of a priestess of Hades. Adornments of the appropriate colors, these blacks and greens, these golden emblems that hold down this like draping expanse of silk. Her hair now like curled up into a bun that is capped with a golden lace almost. Her eyes become this shallow, watery green. It is time for me to prepare a man for burial, it would seem. I believe you are expected above. The general waits not far up the stairs. Larity's what we're gonna say.
2 things. Get you a goth Grecian Hecate girlfriend. I didn't know I needed that in my life. 2. They spoke. Excuse me?
No, not you. I was telling the music to shush.
They seemed as though I reminded them of someone, some half memory. The only reason I tried is because it sounded like there may have still been some semblance of a person there.
She has both her hands at the head of this table. And that is how they make you hesitate. They know what makes people hesitate. They know our deepest desires. They know, for lack of a better term, our humanity. Desire to help. Desire to save. And they use it as bait. And if this was ever something or someone that you once knew, it is that much worse, for then they know now the intimate knowledges that that deceased knew. It is a hive of minds that speak to each other across distances untold. I do not believe that the creature that I fought on the capital was the same creature that took him down. But I do know that they were able to pull from their memories. Undoubtedly, before this is over, we will see many ghosts amongst the plague that once haunted our minds walk amongst us. Phobos is a good example of this. Ares watched his son die and get absorbed by the plague 1,000 years ago. whatever is masquerading now around in his name is not his son, but a shade of what it once was. There can be no other explanation.
If I would ask one thing, he looks down at the awful amalgamated non-corpse that's on the table. I don't know if this was kindness or cruelty in the end. I don't know if this set them free. But 1,000 years ago, this didn't or couldn't happen. Maybe there's better answers ahead of us.
That is why we must make sure that we all see it to the end. I cannot speak for how long we have. But it is my hope that even if I do not see the resolution of all of our work and sacrifice, that hopefully one day you all may. She reaches out, fingers inches above the skull. As a sheet of green fire erupts from her hands in a slow, almost like watching the aurora in the sky. This weaving, waving green ribbons of green fire that sweep across this body. And as they fall, almost like a gossamer blanket on the corpse, where it touches skeleton, it begins to light and burn and sizzle. There is no smoke. It simply disintegrates. May Hades guide you. And if you really want to see this thing free and released, we must continue our hunt and fight until every part of this plague is extinguished. That is the only way that they will be all free. She looks at Phoebe. Whatever that means. She looks at Cypress. No matter who it is. And that's where we will end for tonight. What'd you look at me like that for?
That was a
That was pointed.
very pointed statement. Hermes, go quick.
Hermes.
Wouldn't be a Greek story unless the gays were sad.
Oh no.
But I'm currently sad.
Even
right,
better.
So you're good.
It can always get worse.
No. Oh my gosh.
The resting state for the gays.
Oh. All right.
Oh no.
Well, you have learned a lot. Seen some things, talked to some things. And
Every
now-
time anybody aboard talks to me, they're like, don't do bad things with fire. And I'm like, what does that mean?
You
I
don't
think
know where
there's a
your
lot
power
of
comes from. I thought it was the sun.
I feel like there's a lot of college pictures of Phoebe going through her rebellious phase where she's just juggling Molotovs.
She's just the inner she's just an inner little pyro. I mean, you know, who doesn't like burning little piles of matchsticks and then making a domino row of burning piles of matchsticks?
I
you
love
know?
that you gave me a really cool spell to keep in mind when I get to use one of my new abilities.
Hey.
Why is this one called Destroy Earth?
We'll get to that later.
Speaks okay?
All right.
Yes,
Well-
we'll find out.
So don't forget, tomorrow
Better.
we got
Ooh.
some vampire stuff coming, you know, provided no crazy windstorms. And then
Well, vampires still be happening. It's just if I get blown away or not.
Oh, right. Next Tuesday, continuation from here with our beloved Themisto return to us, hopefully.
Yay! Thank you
And-
for not making me give her super duper important Pythia speech. I was like,
No.
what
I-
would she say?
No, I had already told her in advance. So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna split you off just for sake of the simplicity, but then also to get like, you know, you can start with some stuff next week. So it'll be fun. Be fun. And then next Friday, the 20th, our return to Star Wars, the Star Wars universe with Twin Company.
Can you announce who all is going to be in this twin company? Or is that a secret?
Semi-secret.
Okay.
But expect familiar faces. More than likely everybody that was in there the last time. You know, maybe give or take, maybe add.
I'm kind of
Who
hoping
knows?
it's just 2 different screens of Sonder somehow.
From just 2 different camera angles.
Sonder in stereo, now on Spotify.
Yep, that would be something. Alrighty, guys. Well, until next time, stay fey, be brave. The safe word is mango. Bunny spread.
Do impossible things.
Do impossible things. Ooh, I'm gonna add that one to the beginning. And then, you know, that's no moon. I don't know.
That's a
That's a-
Well, I mean-
flashback.
Yeah, considering how the prequel ended.
Hey. All right. Also, oh yeah, good point. All right, mango. All right, we'll see you guys next time.